Hey y'all, so today we're going to be talking about demonic possession. This is not to scare anyone, this is just to raise awareness for how common it is, especially considering everything that's been happening in the world. You can watch that video too, I'll link it so you can see. But with everything that's been happening in the world, demonic possession is more common than ever, especially because people don't know what it is, how it happens, and how to prevent it. So today we're going to talk about those three things, okay? So to start off, what is demonic possession? Because I know we had this concept that, it's just some weird, scary movie, tactic or whatever. Really what it is, and if you understand energy, especially if you understand spirit energy, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, it's overrun emotions that have gone on so long that they become a habit in your body. After it becomes a habit, it's harder to control. So once it goes on so long being a habit, eventually it becomes a half or partial. It's ultimately about your boundaries. You've gone so long not acting like yourself that the energy that you're putting out into the universe is that, oh, I don't want to be myself. I want to be somebody else. And so you've opened your energy to the universe to invite things in that are not you, right? Which is why people who are demonically possessed seem to not be acting like themselves. Well, they probably haven't been acting like themselves for a while. Now it's just so apparent, especially because they really can't control it. So what does it look like? Acting out of character, things constantly going wrong. They may walk or talk different. They may kind of like walk almost like it. They have a negative mindset that won't shake. You cannot change their mind no matter how much you try. They may also suddenly become severely critically ill or develop multiple severe illnesses at once, seemingly. This is the demon inside of their body taking possession, and it doesn't really fit, and so it kind of just corrupts the body. Emotional problem was already taking its toll on the body, and so the spirit energy just amplifies that, because the spirit energy matches the negative energy that they were bringing in with their behavior. So for example, if they were the type of person that's really angry, they're going to attract a wrath demon. This may present as head injuries, head cancers, head tumors, facial injuries. Some people get really bad acne. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Things like that. That's just an example. So you have to think about all the parts of the body that demons can affect and how many different types of demons there are, and some produce the exact same effect, just in weirdly different ways. It's the confusion of the demonic realm. So nobody is above anybody in this respect. Anybody can become possessed by their emotions. It happens all the time, right? But eventually, if you let it become a habit and you don't control it and you don't care, eventually that leads the spirit energy into your body. And at that point, it is literally almost uncontrollable. So what do you do at that point where it's almost completely uncontrollable? How do you rectify it, or how can you prevent it from getting to that point? First, control yourself, right? Because that is the energy that you are going to invite into your life. But sometimes that's a little unrealistic, especially because we're human, and humans are emotional beings, and you're supposed to experience your full range of emotion, right? So what about those times when you can't really control yourself, but you kind of just don't want it to go too far? What do? The most important thing is to have your boundaries, okay? Period. Because like I said, if you're constantly calling your own energy into your life, the universe is going to respond with your energy back to you. If you are constantly calling in just any old random angry energy, sad energy, manic energy, etc., whatever demonic energy, your energy is going to be replaced inside of your body with the demonic energy, and your energy is going to be whoever's for the taking. Okay, you want to know yourself, know your boundaries, like know how you act, know how you talk, know what you wear, what you want to look like, what you want to sound like, your lingo. I'm talking about down to the smallest stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things, what you eat, you know what I'm saying? What you watch. Don't be, doing stuff because somebody else said do it. Do what you know you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's really good to be around people who encourage you to be yourself. Because if somebody is encouraging you to not be yourself, they are knowingly or unknowingly leeching off of your energy. They are trying to talk you out of your boundaries. Because like I said, once you get that demonic energy in your body, your energy is whoever's for the taking, so they can have it. And this is how narcissism works, okay? Be around people who encourage you to be yourself. And there's also another option. So the 7 deadly sins is a typical Christian concept that details exactly what it says, 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly things that humans are prone to that are normally considered bad. But we just like to indulge in them, and they can potentially be deadly. Now, when it comes to this technique, this is a technique that I developed in order to help prevent and correct demonic possession in the body. So if you want this technique, you want to know how it works, you want to know what to do, you want to have like some backup, or like you need some emergency help, let me know. I do these 7 deadly sins readings, and I give them individually to people so that you can know what you're prone to, because everybody's not prone to the same thing. Some people, they never get angry, but some people, they always get angry. So you need to know yourself. Like I said, that's back to your boundaries, right? So we're starting there. Know yourself, and then that way you can start building those boundaries against those negative influences, okay? I love you. I need you to stay safe out here, okay? Demonic possession is at an all-time high, especially narcissism, okay? Narcissism digresses into psychopathy. Psychopathy is a complete lack of empathy for everyone and everything. You just don't give a fuck, but you're also extremely intelligent, and so it's kind of like the snake archetype, right? They slither in, you don't see them, and then they bite, right? I'm not going to go too far into that. That's a separate video that we need to talk about. But for now, just know to be mindful of narcissists, specifically narcissists and psychopaths, because they will, specifically them, come into your energy because they have a demonic, especially a psychopath has a demonic possession. Narcissism can be full or partial. Normally, once it gets to psychopathy, it's already done, right? Come into your life specifically to leech on your energy, okay? Because they have to. That's how they live, okay? They need other people's energy. They don't have their own anymore, right? So they need a supply. Don't feed the narcissist for your own good and everybody else's, and theirs too, because they don't need somebody else's energy. They need their own, okay? Now, I love you, and like I said, I want you to stay safe. Please let me know if you need a reading. But other than that, maintain your boundaries. You're going to be just fine. I love you. See you soon.